Starting with, in the sixth missile test this month, North Korea has fired another unidentified projectile towards waters of its east coast. This comes as Kim Jong-un continues to flex the country's military muscle and ignores Washington's offer for peace talks. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said that they had detected the launch of 2 ballistic missiles on the east coast of North Korea. The suspected missiles are likely to have landed outside Japan's exclusive economic zone. Japan, meanwhile, has called the latest missile test very regrettable.
そして6度目となる発射についてですが、これは弾道ミサイル等の発射が含まれておりますので、これは国連決議違反であり、これは抗議もいたしましたし、大変遺憾なことであると思っております。
The last time North Korea tested this many weapons in a single month was back in 2019 when a high-profile negotiation between North Korean leader UN and former US President Donald Trump collapsed. North Korea earlier this month indicated that it will strengthen its defenses against the United States and will consider resuming its nuclear and long-range weapons testing. In a blatant warning to the West, North tested suspected ballistic missiles on the 14th and 17th of January and fired what it said were hypersonic missiles on the 5th and 11th of January. These back-to-back missile testing by North Korea has once again raised fears of worsening tensions between North Korea and the West. The series of tests has drawn condemnation from the governments in the United States and Japan and has also sparked an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. And for more on this, WION correspondent Phoebe Amoroso joins us from Tokyo. Phoebe, thank you for joining us. Let's just start with the suspected testing this time. What can you tell us about this latest unidentified projectile?
Well, both South Korean and Japanese authorities are still investigating, but so far it has been reported by the South Korean military that these are suspected short-range ballistic missiles, that they flew around 190 kilometers at an altitude of 20 kilometers. On the Japan side, they have announced that these missiles flew towards the Sea of Japan, but have fallen outside of Japan's exclusive economic zone. We have seen a strong reaction again from Japan, but Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has once again called this launch extremely regrettable. And the Defense Minister of Japan has also said that these ongoing launches pose a strong security risk to Japan, to the region, and also internationally, and has vowed to work very closely with South Korea and the United States in order to try and resolve this issue as tensions are escalating.
Right, Phoebe. In fact, I was just going to come to that. Japan has condemned the suspected missile test, saying it was in violation of the UN resolution as well. What can you tell us about its ramifications now?
Well, the big question is, what is North Korea trying to achieve with these repeated launches of missiles? And there are several theories as to this. Many observers are saying that this is a cry for attention from Washington. And however, North Korea has said that it believes Washington's playing a petty trick when inviting it to talks, and that it needs to strengthen its defenses against DC. So another interpretation is that North Korea is entering an arms race with South Korea. But overall, this is adding to an extremely volatile security situation within the region. We're already seeing tensions regarding China's increasing military assertiveness, and we've seen a series of high-level talks. Particularly, Japan has been trying to shore up its alliance with the US, but also signing new agreements with Australia. And this has ramifications for the entire region. In fact, North Korea has specifically pointed out that the United States is conducting joint military drills and is also moving a large number of high-tech weapons and technology into the region. But a lot of this is also with China in mind. So this has a sort of feedback loop and is adding to widespread tensions across the Indo-Pacific region.
Right. Phoebe, now, as I also mentioned earlier, this is the 6th missile test in a month. North Korea is determined to resume its nuclear and long-range weapons tests as well, and has shown no willingness to engage in peace talks. How do you see the situation playing out going forward?
Well, that is, again, a question that many observers are asking. I mean, the United States has said that it's very open to dialogue with Pyongyang. US President Joe Biden has said that he is not in any way hostile to North Korea. And the United States Deputy Assistant Secretary of State to Japan and Korea has said he has no reservations regarding talking to Pyongyang about anything at any time. However, Pyongyang has specifically said it needs to strengthen up its defenses against the United States. And some observers are really noting that it has shown impressive diversity with its launches this year, really trying to demonstrate that not only is it developing new capabilities, but it has the readiness and versatility. So the big question is, what will it take to bring Pyongyang back to the table? And if indeed it is in an arms race with South Korea, that will complicate matters, and it might be a united and concerted effort is going to be needed in order to work out a diplomatic solution. At the moment, however, it does seem that tensions are escalating upwards, and there's been no move by either side as to how they're going to resolve this.
Right. All right, Phoebe, thank you so much for joining us with all your inputs on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.